Every single thing that our country was supposedly born inside of was born in one word: revolution. We stood up against tyranny. We stood for honesty. Give me liberty or give me death. I say one thing: we must refresh the tree of liberty from time to time, and it is our responsibility. You are a patriot. I am a patriot. My name is Don LaRoche, and I am a revolutionist. And so are you. This revolution now. This is Revolution Now. My name is Don LaRoche. I'm a revolutionist. I want to come to you and I want to have a conversation today that I'm sure most people, it's kind of unfortunately how it is in our society right now. Most of our topics and things that we talk about divide us, and they divide us intensely. Before I get into this conversation, because I'm going to say some things on both sides of the fence that probably going to make some people angry, so I just want to put it out there. First of all, I appreciate our law enforcement officials. I appreciate the job you have to do, and I appreciate how hard it is. However, let us be honest about the police state that is being birthed in our nation right now, every second. Has been for a while. It's not just right now. It's not even just because of that immense douchebag occupying the White House right now. It's not even about that. It's not even about that. What this is about is a police state that has been birthing for a while. And if we're being honest, it has been upon us for a long time, you know. But as the private prison systems grow, as the infrastructure of the control of that grows, we are where we are at. And where we are at right now is white cops shooting unarmed and innocent black males constantly. And not just that, also white cops. I mean, I've seen videos in the last few weeks, quite literally, of teenage girls being thrown around by white cops. And these teenage girls are African American, being thrown around by white cops. It is unbelievable, the state of disrespect in which we live right now. Not only disrespect for our fellow brothers and sisters that live right here with us, that are Americans, that work with us side by side, but the blatant racism that exists. Let's be honest. Too many people out there hold and harbor racist thoughts for no good reason. For no good reason. I don't know if this puts me to be the odd white person out or whatnot, but I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, and Pontiac, Michigan. That's where I spent my childhood. And I grew up in these neighborhoods that were the hoods. They were ghettos. And I felt safer there than most places I've lived in my life. Because there, everyone is equal. You know what everyone is going through because it's a dilemma that you share. And let's be honest, that the amount of news that we're actually given, that we actually see, is nowhere near the actual amount of people who are killed. Now, like I said at the beginning of this, I respect the entire hard job that a police officer has to do. It is not easy. And fear is something that drives all of us. Every single one of us, unfortunately. And that fear, though, pushes us towards stupidity and not thinking through our final decisions, but unfortunately not taking responsibility for when we chose wrong. Some of these deaths that have happened over the last few years have just, scarred me. I'm not even going to lie. One of the worst ones, Eric Gardner back in 2014, he literally broke up a fight being a good Samaritan outside of a New York bodega, and cops come along and they choke the big guy to death right on the side of the road for nothing besides being a good citizen, a responsible neighbor. And now, because of all of these things that happened in Ferguson and stuff like that, things that are absolutely irreprehensible. Or recently, a man with his child and his wife getting shot 5 times by a scared cop that had no right to not only have that weapon on him, but had no right whatsoever to take that man's life for nothing more than his fear. Is our fear of each other seriously going to drive us to the place where we might as well be zombies lopping each other's heads off in the middle of the damn streets? Because that's where this is escalating towards. And if you don't think it is, then you're fooling yourselves, my friends. This has to be something that is talked about truthfully and honestly. So, truthfully and honestly, innocent black men are being killed by fearful white cops. Well, now, whether that's racism or whether it's just literally overworked or any of those things, it doesn't matter. Because we cannot justify murder for fear. And on top of that, to let our justice system show how much it is failing by letting these men off. If you murder someone, you need to pay for your crime. I believe that is as simple as it needs to be said. 2016, 233 unarmed black male killed by white cops. That's just something that can actually be statistically sourced through the Washington Post. Because this is where we live. I mean, not only that, but think about things like mass shootings at schools. Think about all the unjustified murder and the expansion of our ego that needs to be pressed on people to show how angry and mad we are about this. Well, I have an idea. Why don't we all grow up? It is time for us to take responsibility of our actions. And more importantly, it is time for us to set aside the archaic things that still run our society. We need, more importantly than anything else, is to take racism, admit to it, and move past it. Just like Truth and Reconciliation in Sierra Leone, where some of these people that did some of the single most horrendous things to people, they got to sit down and talk truthfully with these people that had talk about them. You had to actually speak the truth of these horrendous things you had done to people. This is the same thing our society needs to do. First of all, the U.S. government needs to stand up and publicly apologize for slavery that forced this entire country into civil war that killed unbelievable amounts of people. Then we need to start to take responsibility that what we are doing is birthing a militarized police force that has the right to carry armaments that only the military should be allowed to carry. And the last time I looked, we were protected from military people being able to engage us on our own soil. But yet, we give the same armaments, vehicles, and camera to cops to protect oil fields from people who actually own the land. I guess that's a whole other topic. I'm not going to try to get sidetracked right now because I'm seriously, unbelievably passionate about what is happening in our world. Because, brother and sister, I fear for you out there. Do you see the separation and the division that they are forcing into us every single day? Because one thing is true. Once we are united, we cannot be defeated. Jim Morrison did say something in all of his drunken stupors and weird poetry that always will stand out to me. In the song 5-1, they got the guns. We got the numbers. We're going to win this time. We are taking over. I believe in that. My brothers and my sisters, we must get together one more time. We need to join our inner collective power and become unified. We need to stand up with no racial thought because you are a human and I am a human. That is all that matters. The color of your skin is the least important thing. Only the content of your character. only the content of your character. I would ask any officer that sees this, think before you shoot. I would ask for our society to be more open-minded about the truth of where we stand. And I would ask you, my brothers and my sisters, to stand for revolution now. Because it is in your blood and it is in your stream. It is the power force inside of all of us. I am only one revolutionist alone. Together, we are all revolution. And we can change the circumstances we find ourselves existing inside of. I just want to say revolution now as we keep on growing this. We're here for you. Please send us emails and stuff like that. I'd be happy to talk with any of you about these topics. I hope maybe even one day we can, get all together and actually talk about these things. Maybe even form a new political platform in order to stand upon and actually fight for our freedom. Because that is what we are fighting for, my brothers and my sisters. We are fighting for our very freedom. I love you and I believe in you. My name is Don LaRoche and I am a revolutionist. So are you. And this is Revolution Now. Peace, y'all.